Awesome. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm thrilled to have Alan Christian with us this morning. Alan is he is one of those loan officers that really impresses me because I feel like he does everything right as far as his systems and his service to his agents and customers. I'm impressed a lot with loan officers that close a ton of business, but I'm rarely impressed, at least as much as I am with a loan officer that has these beautiful systems in place, and Alan certainly does. Alan's been in the business about 20 years, and he does a ton of business. He is somebody we can all learn from. I love the fact that he comes across as a Southern gentleman, and he's very likable, and you can tell how sociable he is. So, Alan, good morning. By now, you've already networked with my whole gang here.
Brother, that was the thing. The only one I haven't talked to is Rich.
Oh, because Rich just came on. All right, Rich, what city are you out of? I forgot, Rich.
Conway, South Carolina, just outside of Myrtle Beach.
Okay, nice.
What is the town?
Conway.
What'd you say?
It's Conway, Conway.
Like Pat Conroy. No, Pat Conway. Got it. Okay. Conway. Near Myrtle. Got it. Okay.
So, Alan, I'm going to ask you to put on your time goggles, like they did in Wayne's World, where they went. Boo, 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 boo,
yep. I got it.
Go back 20 years. So how did you get going with your first couple of deals?
This is the easiest thing ever. And people miss this. So they miss this so much. And I say this to every realtor when I meet with them, and also loan officers. If I gave y'all $100 for every person that you could write down on a piece of paper that could know you in a little, if I called them for you and said, hey, this is Alan. Do you remember Lauren Atkins from church, softball, middle school, high school? She cuts your hair, she whatever, anything that they potentially could have a reference to remember you. If I gave you $100 for every person that you could write that down, above 100 people, starting at above 101, how many could you come up with? Because here's what I'm getting at. If you want to have a long-term business and a fun business and a good business, it's relationship based. It's like getting a wedding list together. Who do I want to invite to my wedding? And you want to write down, I mean, this is ground zero. Write down every single person. And I'm telling you, somebody you went to literally middle school with, you pull out your high school, your middle school little annual, you write names down and say, man, I had 7th grade math with that guy and we chatted up and he was super nice and cool. That is where you start right there.
And it's so much easier today than when we started.
Oh my God.
We didn't have social media and all that. We had to literally notepad and pencil.
Yeah, the thing I'll get at next is the social media side makes it so easy now. It makes it so crazy easy to reconnect with people that you may not have access to their phone number, their email, their mailing address, whatever. But if you sit down and wrote down a list of people, and I say starting at 100 and above, because most people, if you sat down and back in the day, 20 years ago, I'd say pull out the phone book and go through every name in the phone book, and because it'll jog your memory. Smith, who do I know the last name of Smith? Johnson, Carroll, whatever. And you just start writing names down. And then you just think about, where did I go to school? And just like, who did I have class with? Who have I sat next to in church or synagogue, or who have I had yoga with or workout? Every single person you can think of. And that's where you get started. And then you want to reach out to them. And the wonderful thing about social media now, the people that are actually on it, you can find them. And there's a cool way to connect them.
So your first loans came from your
Absolutely.
group.
100%. 100%.
So our topic today is we've gone through this progression where we've done role play and adding value to real estate agents. And, you know, we're going to continue to harp on that. And now we have done that and we've set an appointment. So what do we do when I now have coffee tomorrow morning with Betty Jean, mid-level real estate agent, and she's going to meet me tomorrow at 9 a.m. down at the local Starbucks.
Yep.
I mean, I'm kind of nervous because I don't know what to say.
Right. Let me tell you what not to do. I'll start this out that I had a, Steve and I told you this the other day, and this may ring true to you guys. I had a closing attorney that was chasing me for about 6 months, trying to get me to meet with him, trying to get me to meet with him with my business. And I didn't need another one, and I never would. Well, I finally agreed to meet her before another coffee appointment I had with somebody. And I sat down with her and literally said, I normally don't meet with attorneys because I've got my relationships, but I agreed to because you were just really nice. And I said, you know what? There's really only about 3 things that matter to me in a great closing attorney. Only 3 things. And from that point forward, y'all think about if you've ever met with a realtor, what do y'all talk about? Think just a second. What do y'all think about? What do y'all talk about? Do you talk about loan programs, down payment assistance, credit, your team, your processing, all that garbage? Because I said, there's only 3 things that matter to me as a loan officer and a closing attorney. She spent the remaining 20 minutes talking about her office, her closer, their happy hours they do, all this stuff. And at the very end of the 20 minutes, I said, you know what? You talked about 20 minutes about stuff that I could care less about. Tell me what the 3 things that matter to me in a closing attorney. She was deer in headlights.
So, okay, Alan, so wait a minute now. So I got my appointment. This is my one shot. So here's my list. I know I got to get all this information out to Betty Jean or it's going to be a failure. I got to tell her we have in-house underwriting. I got to let her know about that new Homes for Hero program. And I got to tell her about the new DPA thing. And I need to tell her that we're all local and that we can underwrite in 48 hours, right? So I got to get this out, right?
I don't even talk about the mortgage business when I meet with them the first time. It's like me, know me, trust me. I want to find out about you. And I do have 5 things here that I write down, 5 topics that I cover with every realtor. And I'm going to go over these real quick with you. I don't talk loan programs. Every other lender out there is talking about I can close in 5 days. I've got an FHA. Everybody's got that. Our job is to be loan officers. Our job is to do loans. They don't care about that. That's what we're supposed to do. They're all supposed to do that. Why do I want to work with you personally? And that's the deal. It's about the relationship. When you meet there, you're trying to get to know them. You're trying to find out, do I even like you? Do I have anything in common with you? So that's the first thing. I'm trying to connect because while you're hungry and you're trying to get business, so when you're cutting your teeth and you're new in the industry, you want to get business from anywhere you possibly can. But there's some loans you don't want to take because you could go get 10 more loans in the time it took you to do this one that was horrible. And you also can find people that you meet with that even though you may get 1 or 2 deals from them, you really shouldn't be working with them because they'll put you through the ringer. They'll call you at 11 o'clock at night on a Friday. They'll call you on Saturday, on Sunday. And that's not what you're supposed to do. And you may not even, and the thing is, when the phone rings and you look down and see their name and you get a knot in your stomach, you don't want to work with those people. And the very first meeting is you're trying to find out it's a 2-way street. It's like dating. Do I like you? Are you cool? Are you a good person? Are you on your game? Do we like each other? That's my first meeting. Yep.
So the first meeting with the agent, like I don't speak at all about business, only personal connecting, happy hour, what we have in common, only personal stuff.
That's the very, because I'm wanting to book, I want to book a meeting.
Oh, Julietta, was that in the form of a question?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a question.
Okay.
Yep. No, I don't. I unless they want to keep going, but I don't want to dump too much. I don't want to give them everything. If they will stay for 2 hours and let me, just vomit from the mouth, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do the first meeting because I want to connect with them. And then when I leave, then I want to follow up with them, mail them a card, send them a handwritten note card, leave them a voicemail, leave them a text, and be cool with them and be nice. And when they see a couple of things like that, then they're going to be more willing to meet you the second time. And the second time is when I'm probably going to talk more business related. But let me tell you the topics that I go, let me tell you the 5 questions.
Yep.
Number 1, I ask them, what are you having your most success with? Tell me about I want to find out about them. Tell me about your real estate business. What are you having the most success with right now? They may say nothing. They may say open houses. You're trying to just find out, what are you doing? Trying to find something that they're doing, how you building your business, but what are you having success with? And you don't want to harp if, things aren't going great for them. Just tell me what you're having success with and just listen to them. And I do take notes while I'm talking. I've got a notepad. I'm writing some things down because I want to remember these touch points when I reach back to them later to reference some of the things we talked about. And when they see you writing stuff down, they realize you're listening to them. So that's just, tell me about what's going on in your business. What's going well? What's going good? Well, you know what? I called everybody on my kids' gymnastics team and I did this and this, and I've got 3 people I'm helping. That's cool. It makes them feel good about it, but you're asking what's going well. Then here's the next one. Number 2, what type of pain or challenges are you having in your business? What are you struggling with right now? And they may tell you, whatever it is, don't have enough buyers. I'm meeting people, but I'm not connecting. I'm not converting them. Struggling with paperwork. I need an assistant. I need some help I need help marketing. I don't know what to do. Should I buy leads? Should I do mailers? What are you struggling with? And because they'll tell you right up front, and just listen.
This is where that empathy comes through.
That's
right.
it.
So they're not looking, they're not thinking, I'm going to give you a problem and then Alan's going to have the magic answer. What they want to hear is that Alan is interested and he cares about it.
That's
Right.
it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it. Total. And I do ask them, what's their goal for the number of families that they want to help this year? And if you hear that, families are people they want to help this year. I'm not asking about number of transactions. I'm not asking about volume. I'm not asking about commissions. I want them in their head to be thinking, I'm talking about people. Same as them. When I talk to them, I'm not looking at you as a realtor, or I'm not talking about my volume. You're a human being. How many families do we want to help? Individuals do we want to help in the next year? What do you have a goal? They may say, you know what? If I can help 15, 28, whatever the number is, you want to have kind of an idea. Do they have a plan? Do they have some goals set out? Because then if you write that down and you talk to them at the next meeting and say, you know what, you said you want to help 25 families this year, or 18, whatever it is, they remember you wrote that down. Now let's talk about how can we help do that together. So you ask them, what is their goal on that? And then I do ask them, how many did you do last year? So if they're new or been in the business 10 years, how many did you do last year? How many do you want to help this year? So you kind of got an idea of what their plan is going forward. Number 4 questions. And we can ask, if you want to ask questions in this, we can, and we can come back to these. Stephen, same thing. What are the top 3 non-negotiables that you have in business? As in, what are the top 3 most important things to you in working with someone? Like, I have to have these 3 things. A lot of times they've never even thought about it. They just don't know. And sometimes these are the things that you ask them. And then sometimes you can share a little bit about yourself, what matters to you, but you're trying to find out. And I've got 3 that, and I'll tell you, they all say the same thing. Every realtor, I am a communication junkie. The number 1 thing is communication. And it's not about loan programs and closing fast. That is not what matters to them. Here's what I typically.
So Alan, how many have said, I want my customers to get the lowest rate?
Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. No, I mean, it is not about rate, y'all. It's not about rate. When I got in the industry, I worked at one of the top places in Atlanta, and we were also the most expensive place in town. The most expense. They could have gone to anybody else and gotten
Did you
cheaper
work for a
rate.
home bank?
Did you know that? I didn't
They're
know
the most expensive in Atlanta.
They were at the time the most expensive game in town.
But-
and I killed it. I
But
killed
they
it.
had box seats at all the ball games.
They had the gig. But you know what? People don't care about that. And here's the things that I typically hear. It's about communication. It's about follow-up, honesty, but you just ask them what matters to them. What's non-negotiables that I have to have these things right there. You ask them that. And then here's the biggest one. And this is for folks that if they're brand new, they're not going to know, and that's okay. But folks that have been in for a while, and this is a gut check for y'all because you're new. If you could change anything about the mortgage business, you're looking across the table at me in your experience with other lenders, closings, experiences you had good and bad. If you could change anything about the mortgage business, what would it be and why? And just listen, because they're going to tell me about horror stories. Tell me about things that didn't go well. Tell me about your experience. You just want them to listen. And while they're saying all this stuff, you should have your piece of paper in front of you and your pen you should be writing this stuff down, because these are the things that you'll come back to them and you'll talk to them about at your next meeting or reference in your next phone call or your next text or whatever you're doing. So this is all about them 100%. Now, ask me some questions related to these things. Adam, thoughts? I'm going to call you out, y'all.
I'll ask some questions. How's
Yes,
this?
go for it, Rich.
So I love the setup and I love the structure of the questions that you ask, because I think right from day one, the marching orders were, schedule meetings with realtors, right?
Yep.
And, and I've been, I'm going to say, somewhat successful in doing that. Maybe not at the volume I'd like, but I've gotten those.
Yep.
I've kind of felt like I've walked into this thing where, guess who didn't control the meeting? I didn't, because I didn't know the questions to ask.
Yep.
Okay. And I know this is part of that. Part of that is guiding that along so you can get the information, position ourselves. So here's what I find. I guess I've got a question in this. Okay.
Sure.
My question is, if I can shut off, my telling, conversation. I want to tell you about me. I want to tell you about what we can do for you. And I'm just asking these questions. After you ask the questions, what are your responses like? I mean, if I said to you, tell me about, your real estate business, what are you having the most success with? And you tell me that, am I just going to the next question?
Yeah. I mean, it's just conversation. Yeah. I mean, if they tell me, you know what, I'm great at, this is off the wall. I know realtors that are back doing open houses now, which is crazy. I'm doing great at open houses for whatever reason. It's kind of my niche. I figured out a cool thing to do there. I'm like, oh, great. Tell me about it. What are you doing? And I'm letting them tell me, did you have one last weekend? Yeah. Tell me about it. How many people came through? Did you have 150 people at your house? Because that's what everybody else is having. And just have fun with it. And it's you're talking to your best friend. Just tell me about your last open house. What was it like? Tell me about some families that came through. What's your follow-up plan? What do you do when you've got 30 people that come in? Are they signing up? What are you doing with those? Do you ever convert, whatever? And just listening and say that. And literally I love that. That's awesome. I mean, a lot of agents don't do open houses. That is super cool. Let me ask you something else. And I tell them, I've got a couple of things I want to ask you. Hey, another, let me ask you. So, and it's just like this. So tell me, that's what you're having success with. Tell me what you're struggling with. What's like the top one or two things that are really just getting you as a realtor, that's bogging you down with your time, your organization, your day, your hours you're working. Tell me a couple of the pain points you're feeling. Because if I can identify their pain and I can solve that problem, that's a cool thing. I'm just
Alan,
trying to get them to talk. Yeah, bud.
So I have a comment and then a question. Correct me if I'm wrong, But so my rule of thumb is I want them to talk about 80% of the time.
100%, brother.
So I feel like in my mind, if they've talked for 5 minutes, then I have permission to talk 1 minute. So that's, obviously it's not that structured, but that's just what's running through my mind.
If you go to the meeting and leave and you talked and you talked the whole time, you messed up.
Yeah, you didn't account. So now, Alan, what is your goal when you're saying your goodbyes and you're walking out the door? So what is your goal that you could say, that was a good meeting?
Here's how I know if it's a good meeting. Did I identify if I liked them? Did I like you? Because I don't want to work with realtors I don't like. I don't want, and it's hard to see that when you're new. It'll cost you money. It'll cost you money to work with people you don't like. They will suck the marrow out of your life and you will be miserable in the industry and you won't survive in the industry. When I leave a meeting and say that was killer, imagine going out on a date with somebody and you left going, oh my gosh, that was so much fun. I loved it. The conversation flowed well. We had a lot of things in common. That was so cool. I wonder if they'll call me and ask me out Friday night. That is what I'm thinking.
So your goal, is not to leave with 2 leads in your hand, names and numbers.
Not on the first call, because it's not sincere. And now, do I always ask for business? I'm always asking for business, but I do not on the first meeting. I flat out don't, because I don't want them to. There's a point where you appear desperate. And when you've got no money, you're like, oh my God, it is hard to do this, but you're warming them up. It's just like a date. You don't go out on a date, the very first date, and ask them to marry you the first meeting. You don't, I'm not going to go home and try to
that's the clean version of that.
Well, right. I'm not going to take you home and try to do something else the first night either. I'm not going to kiss you on the first date either.
Okay, there you go.
That is the first thing. But when I leave, and Stephen, that's such a great point. When I leave and I have their card, I sit there and I think, okay. And when I walk out of there, I take notes down of everything. I'm looking for connections. I'm looking for cool things about them. What did they tell me? Family, kids, where'd they go to college?
What do we have in common?
And I have a section in my database called the one thing. What's the one thing? You know what the one thing is with Juliet? She's from Argentina, and I'm going there shooting in a couple of months, and that's just a fun thing. And next time I talk to you, I may talk about that. I may send you a sweatshirt next week with Argentina on the front of it, and your name on it.
So in my eyes, when I think about how the meeting went,
right,
I'm thinking, hey, I just met with Realtor Adam. Did he leave with a positive view of me?
That's it.
Did he leave with a positive view thinking, hey, Stephen's pretty cool. I like Stephen. That's all I'm trying to accomplish. I'm not trying to teach him anything or to get business right then and there. So if he leaves and he likes me, then there's going to be business in the future. Now, to wrap up, Alan, my last question is, okay, meeting is over. Okay, now what kind of follow-up do you do after the meeting?
Here's what I recommend doing. Before you leave the parking lot, text them, send them a text and just say, it was great to meet you. I really enjoyed it. You're a super cool person. Been wanting to talk to you forever. It was such a great time. Hey, have an awesome day. Look forward to seeing you soon. I'm just
5 minutes later.
I'm talking, when they're leaving the parking lot, they get a text,
okay.
Right? Bam. So in a simple world, you send them a text, you go back to the office, you send them a handwritten note card. Same thing. Hey, it was great to see you. And there's a follow-up, there's like a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 week follow-up plan that I do. That, I mean, it's not a one or two time deal. You know, you normally have to reach out to somebody 7 to 8 times before you really connect, 7 to 8. This is not a one-time deal. This is like 6, 7, 8 weeks. You're trying to identify and connect with them. And then at that point, if you don't get a referral, an introduction, or anything back, you realize there's not a connection. It's time to pull them off and move on to somebody else. But you do need to go back, text them, send them a handwritten note card, couple of days, call them and leave them a voicemail. A week later, do the exact same, send them, give them a phone call before the weekend. Hey, I'm on the way home from work today. I remember we got together 2 weeks ago for coffee. And you know what? I just enjoyed it. It was great. Hey, I'm going out for the family this weekend. Hope you'll have a great weekend. If I can help you, let me know. Talk to you soon. Bye. Not, hey, rates came down today a quarter. We're 150 basis points off and the LIBOR index is going away, but the coffee's going to replace it. And I got a new down payment. They don't give a crap about that. They don't. It's not that y'all's jobs do loans. Do they need to know loans? No. They need to find out, are you competent? And people can figure out if you're competent in a conversation. You don't need to ask if I know how to do loans. I'm in the mortgage business. But do you believe, like if I meet you and you're scattered and you can't even pay your coffee bill or your tip and you got papers everywhere, I can pick up on that right away that you are not on your game. I'm trying to people to find out, hey, do I like Alan? Does he seem like a sharp guy? Is he personable? Would I feel comfortable? I've decided that I'm not going to go out on a date with Alan for whatever reason. He likes horses and I don't like horses and it's just not going to work. But you know what? I liked him enough that my friend Carol, she's my best friend since childhood and she's single and she loves horses. And I think I should introduce Alan to her. That's what I'm after. Do they like me as a person? Do they trust me? Do they feel comfortable enough that I'm going to reach back out? In the next meeting, that's when I'm going to start talking more details about business. What do they do? A little bit about what I do, my team, my process. I'm not going to dump. And there are times that agents want to go, well, go ahead and tell me about, I'm not going to, if they ask on the first meeting, I'm still not going to do it. Hey, will you kiss me on the first date? No, but I want to kiss you on the first date. I'm not going to do it. Why? It's not what I do. Why? It's not what I do. I run the show. I control everything that I do. I control the process. A realtor does not control the conversation, does not control the meeting. And if you sit down with them and have a piece of paper and have a couple of questions, jot it out and they see it and say, you know what, on the way over here, I thought about, was a couple of things that I just came to mind that I really wanted to ask you that was just on my heart. And I wrote some of these down. They're going to go, you wrote stuff down? Wow. So you just appear on your game. Does that make sense?
100%, Alan. This has been like pure gold.
Okay.
So, I want to be respectful of your time.
Yep.
So does anybody else have any more questions for Alan before he goes out and dominates the mortgage world even further?
No.
No questions, but thank you for your time.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you so
hang
much.
on. I'm doing another picture. I need peace sign up. Everybody, Rich, do it. 1, 2. Hang on. Got it. Here's one thing, y'all. I'm very active on social media. On my main thing I use is my main thing I go to is Facebook. I've got other channels. Go follow me. Don't like me because I'm kind of capped on numbers, but follow me and just look at some of the stuff I do. If you've got questions, reach back out to Rich or Stephen. We can get back on this, but follow me. I hopefully when you see my page, you'll be able to find out enough about me as a person. And you may say, hey, I don't like Alan or I like him. That's kind of what you're trying to do as well. But hey, Stephen, honored, buddy. It's glad
Thank
to
you so
and y'all,
much,
I want you to
Alan.
know this. Stephen and I people ask, why would you get on a call? And I told a friend I was doing this call today, Stephen. It's like, why would you get on a call and help another branch manager, another loan officer, help his loan officers in your market or out there? Why would you do that? It's because of a couple of reasons. Stephen's a friend of mine. I think the world of him, and I've got an abundance mentality. There's plenty of business.
There's plenty of loans for all of us.
That's it. So y'all have a great Friday. It was an honor being on here. Thanks, y'all.
All right. See you later.
Thank you
Alan.
so
See
much.
y'all. All right.
So that was really terrific. Please take what he said to heart. Like I said, you know, the loan officers that I really admire in their systems and processes is a short list, and he's one of them. So, okay. So the homework assignment was two things. One of them was to watch the video of the lady that uses Facebook. Did anybody watch that?
Yep.
Okay, great. So my question to you, it was Ashley Corville, and we're going to go over this because I have a Facebook presentation. What I plan to do, did anybody see my social media presentation that I did a week ago? Anybody?
I saw some posts from you. I don't know if it was.
No. I had a call. I had an hour-long call where I went through social media. Were you on it, Lauren?
Yeah, I was
Last
on it. And
Wednesday.
Adam, I think you were on it.
I was
too.
on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did like an overview then, and if you weren't on it, I'm happy to send you the link of the presentation so you can catch up. And now each meeting, we're going to do a deep dive into one of the platforms so that we can learn a little bit more about each one specifically. Today is Facebook. So, okay. So Ashley Corville, she uses Facebook. Give me one thing that you learned from Ashley, Lauren.
Okay, one thing is that she posts 2 to 3 times a day, and then she replies to the comments over the next 3 days. So she turns
Excellent.
one
Go ahead,
post.
Julietta. Excellent. Go ahead, Julia.
She comment and engage with her agents, partners daily, like say happy birthday, and twice a week post a live video.
Right. Okay, Adam, give me one thing she did.
She has 2 profile pages. So she has her business page and her personal page. She
Okay.
invites all of her contacts to her personal page. She uses her business page just to show that she has content and information that she can provide value. You know, the other page is really just to tie them into who she is. It kind of relates back to what Alan was saying, you know, it's that friendship and trust that you build with them. So.
Awesome. So hold on one second. I'm going to do a screen share. This is. Okay, who sees, it says Facebook Basics.
No, it's blank.
Who sees it
There you
now?
go.
Facebook
Yep.
Basics, you see it? Okay,
Yeah.
great. So we're gonna go into Facebook Basics. I could tell you that there is a lot of stuff to know. So I am just trying to hit the high points. You can really do a deep dive if you want to. You know, Facebook looks simple, but it's actually kind of complex the way it works. Okay, so here are my assumptions. Jump in, raise your hand or whatever. If you, let me see if I can see you. Yeah, I can kind of see you. Okay, if this is not true. Number one is everybody has a Facebook page, right? Okay, does everybody have a business page?
Yeah.
Okay. You basically, you know how to post a video or photo or text.
Yes.
Okay. You know how to send a friend request to somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know how to like a business page. Basically, you just click the like button. And you know how to search. If you want to find Betty Jean, you just put her name in and you can search for it. Okay, so we got that under our belts. Okay, your Facebook profile. I'm amazed. I'm in a group of called MLO Net. So all of you should be in this group. It's fantastic. There's 9,000 loan officers in it, and they answer my underwriting questions in like 9 seconds at 2 in the morning. So they're a great group of people. don't take everything as gospel truth, because different companies do things a little bit different and people sometimes are not 100% accurate. But if 4 people give you the exact same answer, that's probably the answer. So I'm surprised that when I go on this group and I have a lead for somebody, people don't put their information in their profile. So I'm trying to find somebody that's in Nevada, and I can't tell. I'm thinking, like, didn't Joe say he was from Nevada? And I look and it doesn't even have his city or anything. So your profile, obviously, it should have your name. It should have your city or community. If you want to go by, Johns Creek or Silver Springs, and that may not be the city, that's fine too. Put your schools, and this will help you as Facebook will reach out to those people. Whatever I even put my elementary, my middle school, my high school, and my college. And if you went to community college or something, put that too. Okay, your company, nothing to be ashamed of. We work at Van Dyke Mortgage. And then in the bio, it gives you a couple of sentences, and you can be a little bit more creative here. But I would put in there something about doing loans, helping families buy houses or whatever. And, you can put that you're a mom and whatever, brother, sister, whatever you want in your bio, whatever suits your needs, an avid fisherman, whatever.
Hey, Stephen, I think when you're in a group, they actually have restrictions on the information that's showed within the group. You'll have to go outside of the group to find their personal information, contact
Right.
wise.
So there's the little dots on the side, and it says, do you want to see the person's full profile?
Yeah.
And even in their
It's
full
not there.
profile, they don't even put their city or anything. So
Crazy.
here's the thing. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Okay, your privacy is gone. Okay, your privacy left the building somewhere in about 2005 or 6. So for 15 years, I can find out everything I want to know about Lauren. I can tell you where she went to school, the address of the house she grew up in. I can tell you how many brothers and sisters she has, everything. I'm sorry, but that's just the world we live in. We're still fighting for a little bit of security online. There's still a little bit of security, but privacy is gone. So, thinking that like, well, I'm not going to put my where I went to college because it's private. Okay, everybody knows. Okay, so to start with, we want to build that community, and we talked about this in my presentation before. So I'm looking at across, and most of you guys are younger than me. So Julietta, how old are you?
How old I am?
Yeah.
How old I look like?
28.
No, I'm 40.
Really? I use you as an example because I thought you were going to say you were around 30 years old, 28, 30 years old. Okay, well,
Thank
so
you.
be it. Okay, so I made a mistake. But here's the thing. Even at 40 years old, and you're going to be working for 30 or 40 more years. I hate to tell you. You'll probably live to be 110 with modern medicine. That's what Gary Vee always says, right? You'll probably live to be 120. So
Hopefully.
the idea that you're going to be doing mortgage origination for the next 30 years is slim. People change, things change. We'll probably won't have mortgages in the same way that we do now, years from now, decades from now. And who knows, we'll probably be selling, flying cars and tickets to the moon. But but the community that you build is going to be there to help you and support you no matter what you do. So really think like long term. Don't think when you're adding friends, oh, well, this guy will never be able to buy a house. Okay, or they're too young, their kids are too young because they're not old enough to buy a house. Think like, in my whole life, could this person ever be in a position to be a good community member or support me? So like Alan said, we want to pull from our friends and family. There's that, like he mentioned, like if you were going to throw a big wedding for yourself right now, who would be on that list? That's a way to think about putting a list together. People at your company at Van Dyke, you know, you don't have to pick all the employees, but you know, the people you like and know, your past customers, if you have any, and I'm talking about past customers from other jobs too. You know, we're thinking long-term, like your whole lifeline here. People that you meet at networking groups, you know, a lot of times we get names and numbers of people that we're going to call for or prospect for business, but we don't think about, let's just go ahead and add them to our Facebook group. For people from Facebook groups specifically, I've made so many friends on that MLO net, but I'm also a member of about 10 different other Facebook groups, a member of a real estate companies group. I'm a member of real estate investors group, a veterans group, just different groups that that you have interest in, totally unrelated. If you ride motorcycles or go fishing or tennis or whatever, there is a Facebook group for it. Realtors, obviously, we want to have them in our group, in our community. Connections from other platforms. So maybe Facebook hasn't been your jam and you're really good on LinkedIn. I actually have many more people on LinkedIn than I do on Facebook. You know, very easy to ask them to join you on Facebook. Most of them will. Facebook has this button that says people you may know, and you would be surprised. They will grab people from your childhood, from all these different companies you worked at. They have their super spy robots back there, and they will send you a list, and that helps you add people. You can have up to 1,000 invites out at a time. So basically, you don't have to worry that you have too many. I think on LinkedIn, it's like 100, but Facebook is pretty generous with that. Jump in with questions as I go. Okay, as you know, I preach the jab, 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 right hook strategy, which basically means give, 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 right hook. So a lot of what we talk about are the right hooks, because we want to talk about posting strategic posts that have to do with business. But I don't want to understate the importance of the 75% personal post, but you know, that can be anything, pictures of your kids, friends, dogs, or your kids, friends, dog, and anything in between, all the daily activities and fun stuff. And it's summertime, so we're all doing like more stuff outside. People like that. You know, you're probably thinking, oh, well, me going to my kid's soccer game, nobody's going to care but me. But that's not true. People love all that. Lauren, you posted some pictures of your daughter does dancing, and you went on a travel tour and did some, she did some rehearsals. I hope I'm saying that properly. And then you posted. So what was your response to those posts?
Huge. Anytime I post about my oldest and her dancing, I get 200 likes and 100 comments, and you know, it's crazy. So, and then the next day I'll turn around and I'll post something about mortgages and I get like 10 likes, but.
So you're saying that more people are interested in your daughter's dancing than they are in the new condo questionnaire that Freddie Mac just put out?
Yep.
Hard to believe.
Crazy.
Okay. So use video if possible. Upload to Facebook native. So you used your phone, you just got a great shot of your daughter doing a backflip or whatever she does, or a twisty turn, and you want to post it. And so you put it on YouTube, and then you put a link to YouTube on Facebook. No, you're going to have to take an extra minute, upload that video to Facebook. Even if you want to put it on YouTube or another platform, you still got to upload it to Facebook and not put a link, because Facebook does not want you taking their customers away from them. They want to keep them right there so that they can sell them stuff. Okay. The Van Dyke .net intranet, VDMC.net has a list. If you go into shared files, it has a list of Facebook posts that they've done before. Now, what I'm going to tell you, whoop, there's a latecomer. Okay. So what I am going to tell you is do not copy and paste this, but it's a great idea to generate ideas, but you want to make sure that the copy is unique. So whatever you say about it or comment about it is unique so that Facebook doesn't see it. It's just a duplicate copy and paste post. That's the problem with these services and even our corporate marketing team, that if you post something that's been posted 95 times, Facebook will block it, and it will actually hurt your what they call edge ranking, which we'll talk about later. But there's no reason why you can't share a post or take a post and make your own comments about it. As far as video, if you're we're not, I mean, we're all, obviously, I can see we're all, beautiful, gorgeous, and would look terrific in video. But even so, some people are a little bit shy. You can still do video. So like Lauren, you could do a video of your daughter's dance, and then you could do a voiceover. If you didn't want to share your face, which would be a real crime, but if you felt that way, you could just do a voiceover and say, look, there's the double twist axle or whatever. Okay, so tag people in your post. Does anybody know what that means, tagging people? So you can
Yes.
basically, so you usually right when you do it, Facebook says, do you want to tag anybody? But if you forgot and you go back, you can right click on the photo and then you can tag people. And what that does is that alerts them that they're in a post. So you're automatically gonna, if you tag somebody, you're automatically gonna get one view because that person's gonna look to see what you did. Okay, I suggest posting in the middle of the day. Some people have this strategic, they do it at 11:05 a.m. or something like that. I think the main thing is, so Facebook is going to look at the activity you get in the first 30 minutes, in the first hour, and so forth. So you want to post when people are active. People are usually active right in the morning before work, in their lunch break, and then towards the end of the day when they're leaving work. So those are usually the best times to post. If you want to do a post late at night, you happen to be up and have time to do it, I would use a program like Hootsuite that allows you to schedule it. I mean, there's no crime in posting at 1 a.m, but you're just not going to get as much activity. There are different ways to post. We're going to talk about, you can post to stories, you can post to feed, you can post to groups, and now Facebook has Reels. You can post a poll. I don't know, you can go to the choices, and one of them is a poll where you say, do you think, coming up this weekend, are you more likely to A, do something at the beach, or B, watch the football game, or C, stay home and drink beer? It's something fun. Or you can do a poll about business, but polls get a lot of engagement. Here's the thing. As you do more and more posts, you will see what gets more engagement. Like Lauren just says, this kind of post gets a lot of engagement, this kind of post not so much. Feed the community what they want. Don't think, listen, I need everybody to know about this down payment assistance program we just got. Okay, that's something that you want to do, and it's okay to sneak that in there as one of your hooks. But basically, if the people want to see your fishing videos, then that's what you should give them. Oh, okay. So just to define these things real quick. So the feed is the main section. It's constantly updating list of stories in the middle of your home page. Feed includes status updates, photos, videos, links, app activity, and likes from people, pages, and groups that you follow. That's kind of the main, what they call the main feed. I'm adjusting my screen here. Okay. So stories is that section at the top, and it's used to share everyday moments with your friends and followers. Stories are only visible for 24 hours. you can go revisit a story, but for somebody to see it, they would have to go onto your Facebook page and see the story if it's been more than 24 hours. So stories are great for quickie things that are not the most important, but as you document, you know, we talked about document rather than create. As you document your life, so to speak, stories is a great alternative. Reels is different. Reels are short videos. In Facebook, it's the little thing that looks like the TV. Now, the thing about Reels is you don't have any control over it. It does not get posted to your community. It goes into the big vat of Reels that Facebook chooses to post, and they're made like for you. So if you know, Facebook determines that you like fishing, then you're going to see a lot of Reels about fishing. And then your reel that you made about fishing is going to show up in other people's reels that your video about fishing is going to show up in people's reels that have an interest in fishing. So with reels, you don't have control, but it's a great way to get new audiences because it'll throw it out there for the whole Facebook community. Live is a great way you can do a live stream. If you want to, some people use live all the time. I don't necessarily use it that often. You can use it when you do a meeting, like I could have this one stream on Facebook Live, or I could just be like going for a walk and hit the live button. And by doing that, it will alert everybody that you're live, and then it will also save that and put it into your general feed later. Groups we talked about, groups are fantastic. The engagement is sky high. If I post something on MLOnet, I've gotten up to 150 different types of engagement on Facebook Net, and I would never get that. I'm sorry, on MLOnet. I would never get that in my general feed. I don't get that much engagement. So literally by the end of the day, every single person here should be a member of at least 3 Facebook groups. Okay, support your community. You want to make thoughtful comments. You want to share posts that they wrote. So if you see posts that other people did, go ahead and share that, boost their edge scoring. It helps them out, and people like that. Like their business pages, you know, tag your friends. We talked about that. Also, if you have the initiative, especially if you do anything in a community like coach a softball team, or you know, or maybe team mom for something that you your kids do, it is a great idea to start a Facebook group, because as we talked about, it's really powerful to build relationships and get engagement. Okay, personal page versus business page. So this is the biggest question that I get. Should I post it to my personal page or to my business page? So there's pros and cons to both. First of all, the personal page, you can only have 5,000 friends. I know most of us are not near that level, but at some point there is a limit. Okay, it's also a violation. Now you can talk about what's going on at work and nobody's going to care. But especially if you advertise something for sale, like a realtor's listing, then Facebook may flag that and say, hey, that needs to be on a business page, because Facebook wants to keep it separate because they don't want people going to Facebook and seeing a bunch of advertisements for products and services if they're looking for, you know, personal connections and so forth through their feed. Okay, the business page is more flexible. It has all kind of tools. It has schedulers. It has a creator studio. Of course, Facebook wants you to use business pages because you can run ads and sell. They can sell their advertisement, and there's no limit to the connections. So the business page has more flexibility. The personal page will invariably get more engagements. Just people are in general on personal pages much more often and much longer. I mean, just think about, you know, so there, you know, the average tennis club may have the same amount of engagement as a Fortune 500 company's business page, just because people are not that interested in, General Electric appliances unless that one time every 5 years that they buy one. Okay, so the thing to know is that you can share posts from personal to business and from business vice versa. And I recommend doing that, sharing them to yourself so you kind of get double exposure. Okay, so we are nearing the end. This is the most complex edge ranking. So edge ranking is what Facebook uses. It's their, people call it their algorithm. It decides which stories will appear in each of the news feed. The algorithm hides the boring posts so that your post doesn't score well and no one will see it. So it tries to feed you what you want. It wants to keep you interested. Initially, the Facebook algorithm evaluates every post, it scores the post, it then arranges them in a descending, non-chronological order of interest for each individual user. The process happens every time a user refreshes their feed. So that's where they're trying to get you, give you the things that you're most interested in so that you have the most engagement on the platform. And then the longer they keep you there, the more advertising they can sell. So, people, they criticize Facebook a lot. They get mad at, when Facebook changes the algorithm, which they do all the time. But here's the thing, it's free. It's a pretty good social and marketing tool for being free. So, you can only complain so much until somebody's just going to say, well, just don't use it if you don't like it. No one knows all the details of how the Facebook algorithm works. Sometimes Facebook will share hints about how it works and what it emphasizes. But if anybody tries to sell you on the idea that they can boost your edge rank or they know what your rank score is, then they're lying, because that's totally false. There's some things that Facebook released about their 2022 algorithm version. And here are the three main things that determine your ranking. Number one is who posted it. So if you have a lot of engagement with your sister, chances are every time your sister posts something, you're going to see it. The type of content, it decides if you like not only the medium like video or photos or text, not only that type of content, but also the subject matter of the content. If you watch all of the motorcycle videos, then you're going to see a ton of them. Your interactions with the post. So it scores you, and this is what we were talking about, supporting your community. The post that you leave comments on, the post that you engage with, give the thumbs up or whatnot, it keeps track of all that, and it's going to give you more of those posts that you engage with because it's assuming that you like them. Each post is ranked on these main signals to determine where it appears on your feed. And that, my friends, okay, am I back without the share? Okay, so that is my Facebook presentation. Does anybody have any questions about Facebook and how it works in a general sense? Okay, so the assignment that I gave you, it was to do a video about something in your hometown, because I really love that becoming an ambassador or mayor of your town is a great strategy. Did anybody do that? No, Lauren?
No, but we're taking our car in. I want to do it for our quick lane place that always helps us with our tires and brakes and all that. So we're taking our car in before our vacation at the end of next week. And I want to try and interview the guy who always helps us. So
okay,
I'm gonna work on it.
So that's awesome to do an interview with the guy that works on your car. It doesn't have to be that, labor intensive. You can just sit here and I can say, hey, let me tell you about this pizza place down the street, Louis Pizza. It's really fantastic. I love the thin crust. And you could just do that. Okay. You don't have to. If I was there and had a picture of the restaurant, it would be more interesting. If I had a video of walking in the restaurant, it would be even more interesting. Of course, if I interviewed the owner, that would even be like, you know, off the chart, interesting. But, you know, we're going for quantity. So that interview style, so that would be like one, but then you could do 2 or 3 other quick ones, just from your desk or from a drive-by photo.
Mhm.
So Adam, can you think in your mind of some examples that you may be able to do?
Absolutely. You know, my BNI group, I was going to do some interviews with those people who own businesses and showcase their businesses. And then also if there's any kind of outdoor events that are happening, you know, just do a pop in, quick little video. Hey, come down to, you know, whatever is happening, you know.
Right. So the idea is if your community thinks that, hey, Lauren knows everything that's going on in Winder, Georgia, then, you know, when it comes time for me to buy a house, I'm going to think, well, she's going to know how to do a mortgage in Winder, Georgia. So I'm going to call her. So, hey, Michael, I know you came late. Do you have any questions?
You know, when I came in, you were going over the Edge rank with Facebook, and that's really good information. Over the past month, I've started doing some Facebook videos, branding a mortgage minute with Mike, and it's just a minute brief. Sometimes it's a quirky explanation of like just a quirky guideline or a new product. Unfortunately, some of the products are gone now with FGMC closing their doors. But I've started doing that, and I really do like the idea that you just, from the last assignment that I wasn't aware of the video of something in the hometown. That's really nice.
Okay, great. And I want to show some of those next time I want to share. But Michael, so your weekly mortgage minute, I think is an awesome idea. But do keep in mind that that is going to be considered a hook. So along with doing one of those, I need you to do 3 other posts
Personal.
that are personal, and it could
Gotcha.
be just a quick thing here or there. Julietta, can you think about, so you're in Miami or Fort Lauderdale? I forgot. Miami. So can you think about places and businesses you go to in Miami, and maybe you could do a quick video?
Places to get more business, you mean?
No, places that you do business with. Anything, restaurants, coffee shops, your car place, any place that you could do a quick video about.
Yeah, I would have to think about it.
Okay, well, please think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's going to be basically all I have for today. So we're going to do these every other week. So I'm going to see you in 2 weeks. Does anybody have anything else?
Mhm.
One quick question. When you're joining groups, if it gives you the option to join with your personal page or your business page, you choose your personal typically?
I would. I do.
Sounds good.
There's always a debate about that, and maybe there's a little bit more argument if it's strictly a mortgage page, but if it's not strictly mortgage real estate, I would absolutely join with my personal page.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, guys, well, have a good weekend, and I will send you an email, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank
Good,
you.
thank
Steven.
you.
Thanks a lot for the invite.
Thank you.